I'm Julie Graham, brand ambassador at the Grit and Grace Project and co-host of This Grit and Grace Life. At Grit and Grace, we're committed to helping women find their purpose and their cause. Today I have with us one such woman. This is Christy Ivie of Christy's Cause, which works to eradicate child sex trafficking. Christy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me here today, and thank you for being so passionate about creating awareness around this issue.
Well, one thing I've noticed at the Grit and Grace Project is we get a lot of web searches almost daily on the terms human trafficking and sex trafficking. So since you are an expert on this topic, will you help us understand what those terms mean, what the differences are?
According to Homeland Security, it's using force, fraud, or coercion to obtain any labor or commercial sex act. The issue of human trafficking is very broad. It does encompass labor and sex trafficking of any age. At Christy's Cause, we specifically focus on working to eradicate child sex trafficking.
I know for some of us, myself included, when I hear this term, first my thoughts go to the movie Taken. And I kind of think that this is maybe an issue that's happening somewhere else, certainly not in my backyard. But is that really the case, or is this a bigger issue?
Many people don't even know that Florida ranks third in the nation in human trafficking cases. It's really a supply and demand issue. Anywhere there's a demand, there's going to be people trying to meet that supply. With Florida ranking third in the nation, that means we have a demand right here in our community. So yes, it could look like a high school girl from a middle class home, still living at home, being trafficked.
Wow, I definitely had no idea it was that big of a growing problem. Is there a reason that you personally got involved in this issue? Is it because of the frequency in our area?
That's typically the first question people ask me. Unfortunately, I grew up in a very abusive home. I was sexually exploited by my father from the age of 5 to 18. So for many years, I was on my own journey of trying to put my life back together. As a result, I still suffer with the psychological effects of that many years of significant trauma.
Sure.
I have PTSD, OCD, high levels of anxiety. But somewhere along my own personal journey of healing, I realized that I needed to take action. I needed to be an advocate for other children in our community, and that's the motivation of why I joined the cause.
Well, before we go on to learning any more about the cause and what you do personally, I just want to say thank you for being brave enough to even share that with us. I mean, I don't know if you guys got goosebumps there, but knowing that you've been through this personal trauma and after having that internal healing, you chose to turn it around and let it be the thing that fuels your purpose. That's really inspiring to me, and I'm sure many others, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Julie.
So as a strong woman, we believe, of Grit and Grace, who has found her cause, do you have any tips for how some of our friends could begin to look into what their passion or purpose might be?
I honestly believe for women, so many of my friends that I know, we're resilient. We're resilient creatures, and we're resourceful. And I think when we lean into our trauma, our pain, we find healing, and we then use that to fuel our passions and our cause, that's when people sit up and take notice.
Wow, we totally agree with that. I want to encourage you to visit gritandgracelife.com now so that you can learn more about Christy's Cause and so that you can begin to discover what your purpose and passion might be as well.